right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar for today. Again, this is Dr. Mike Chua, physical therapist and certified dementia practitioner. And I think we're both live now, both in our webinar and also in our, what do you call this, MMT Facebook page and also the MMT private group. So again, thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate you for all those people who signed up just recently. If you have any questions, you can put the questions in the Facebook page, or if you want me to check it out live, it's you can also put it on the Zoom webinar chat. You know, just put down all panelists if you want everybody to see that message, or you can also just send the message just to me here in Zoom. Well, anyway, today will be our second webinar. It's the Mastermind and Mentoring for Therapists, and we will start with the letter M today. So again, before we start, let's do a recap of our, let me take this out here. Let me do a recap on our MENTOR letters. So the mentor thing. So the first letter is M, meet a need. And again, E, educate and add value. Again, N, letter N is network and social media. Letter T is the team of winners. Letter O is one-to-one coaching. And letter R is the repeat or recurring revenue. So just obviously for today, we're going to be doing the letter M, meet a need. Okay, so there's this saying that we assume that we think that everybody knows what we know. You know, me being a therapist, I always make this mistake. You know, when I go to a patient's house and they ask me about dementia, and I'll be like, well, you're supposed to know this. You know, you're taking care of your loved ones. And what's amazing is that if I explain to them the process of dementia, what's going on with the patient's brain and the different stages of dementia, and they'll be surprised. Oh, we've been experiencing that same too with my mother or my father. And you know, I always assume that everybody knows what I know, but in fact, they don't know what we know. So, you know, probably 100% of our of those people listening right now, if you're a therapist or a nurse or a physician or what, you know, obviously we know more than everybody else. So this is a special skill, a special talent for us. Okay. So next slide would be, okay. Next slide would be, if I can make it work, is meet a need, meet a niche, or meet a need. So, all right, what's going on? All right, so the purpose of this letter M is obviously to warm your client up to you, or introduce yourself, or just like courting a person or courting a lady, you don't ask a lady or your girlfriend to get them to marry you immediately. You have to warm them up first. So the purpose again of that meet a need or this book or the ebook is to provide valuable but incomplete content. So basically, just like what I mentioned before, it's basically a skeleton to your actual product, and of course to get a response. So just a perfect example, just today I received a book, an actual book from one of the administrators of what we call Alzheimer's and Dementia Support Group. His name is Ryan Williams. And he's been giving out this actual book, this hardbound book for, you know, Alzheimer's caregiver. And the title of the book is Why Grandma Keeps Forgetting, an Alzheimer's Story. It's a free book that he gives out to the family member. And so in that way, he's meeting that need. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a hardbound copy. You know, this is probably, you know, some money involved there. In my case, I give out my Misunderstanding Dementia book. It's like $3 something through Amazon. I buy that a lot and I give it out to patients. If you can't afford that, you can start with a simple ebook or simple printout, you know, like a checklist or something like that. So the key here is you're warming up that client. You're warming up just like a patient. You know, you give them some sort of a freebie. Okay. My problem. Here you go. So first we have to know who, what, and how. So you want to know who is your audience. Next is what is the need or what is the niche. So in my case, it's dementia. And how are you going to meet the need or niche? I always get confused with that need or niche. So you want to know who your audience is, you want to know who you are, and you want to know what the need of that audience, and obviously you want to know and how are you going to meet that niche. So who is me? What is my client? You know, the caregivers, and how do I take care of them? How do I bring out the best in them? So that's what we're going to be talking about now. So who are you? You know, you have to define who you are. In my case, I have to define myself. You know, I'm a certified dementia practitioner, and I always have to tell them that, hey, I'm a certified dementia practitioner, and this is what I do. I help dementia caregivers bring out the best in them by giving out my ebooks, my books, live courses, and online courses. You know, in that way I could bring out the best in them. That's me. That's my who are you, and that's how I define myself. So in your case, you know, just define who you are. So there are a lot of questions that you can use, you can do, or you can ask yourself. So first question is, what is your work? What do you do? Are you a therapist like me? What kind of therapist are you? Are you a dementia therapist? Are you a hand therapist? Are you an orthopedic therapist? You know, you have to find your specific niche in your specific discipline, just like physicians. You know, you can be a general practitioner, but if you really want to level up, no, there's nothing wrong being a general practitioner, but if you really want to level up, you have to find your specific niche. So for example, if you're a physician, you specialize in the heart, so you're the cardiologist. So, you know, so you got to know what is your work. So next is, what do you do? You know, what are you doing right now? What kind of job do you like to do? What skills do you have? You know, that's the next question. What are your job experiences? You know, what positions have you had before? And where have you lived or traveled? I like this this question here. You know, if you are a traveler, you can use that specific niche for yourself. You know, I don't know if I remember the name. I think she's like a physical therapist, and she travels around. You know, he travels around. I think his name is Dylan. I forgot his last name, but that's his specialty. He's a traveling therapist, and this is how he mentors other people, other therapists, to do this specific job. And that's what his special skills there. And who do you know or have met or networked? So like what we always hear, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Who are you networking with? You know, every year, not every year, you know, last year I attended the SSPT, you know, Smart Successful Physical Therapist, and that's such a great group of people. They're all winners there, and they'll help you bring out the best in you. And it's not just Greg Todd, it's the rest of the actual family. You know, I mean, Greg Todd is awesome, but the rest of the family there, it's just like a special group of people that will bring out the best in you. So who do you know? You know, who have you met, or who are you networking with? Next is, what have you learned in the past year? You know, what kind of courses have you been attending to? What kind of CEU course? So if you're, like what I said earlier, if you're a occupational therapist, you know, it could be, your specialty could be shoulder, it could be hand, it could be whatever, you know, or elbow therapy. I went to Paris, Tennessee today, and I saw an occupational therapist actually owns his own clinic, and it says there shoulder and hand therapy only. But it says shoulder and hand, but I'm sure she gets, or they get a lot of other cases like stroke or Parkinson's, because they've developed that specific niche. I always hear this, you know, that you have to niche down in order for you to scale up. So don't worry about niching down so much, because once you've put down your niche, and obviously you're going to have a lot of patients coming in or a lot of clients coming in. So next is, what is your current job title or position? Okay. Next slide would be again defining you again. So what sets you apart? You know, what makes you unique? You know, in my case, I've been always asked, hey, what is dementia, Michael? Because I always worked at the nursing home. I always work at the home health setting. So I think I said, well, might as well serve this as a specific niche for me, wherein I educate caregivers about it. What do people ask you for? You know, you've got lots of friends out there. I'm sure somebody have asked you, hey, for example, if your name is Bill or Christian or Christine or Jennifer, What are they asking you all the time? Are they asking you about insurances? You can be a specific niche for insurances. What are they asking you about? Home safety, if you're an occupational therapist. Bathroom safety. That could be your specific niche there. And one of our member here is Jennifer. Her specific niche is home modification. The key here is just narrowing down that niche and then go from there. Okay. Next is, what are you good at? You can find that specific niche, but if you're not good at it, it's not going to do you good, right? And what are your failures and successes? Why am I telling this? Failures, because your failures will be a good thing, because every time I make a mistake on my dementia patients, I use that as an actual experience for me to learn and how to bring out the best in the next patient or the next scenario. So it's not how many times you've failed, okay? It's not how many times you've fallen. It's how many times you get up and do this all over again. That's the key here. And, if you find a specific niche and it's not working for you, find another one. I remember, what's his name? I forgot his name. Let me move that. He runs a podcast called Alzheimer's podcast. Let's just say Alzheimer's podcast. I just totally forgot his name. And he quit. He was doing so great. He has this great website. It's called Together in This. There you go. I remember him. His website is Together in This. He offered courses. He's been running that website for several years. And he has this great podcast called Alzheimer's Podcast. And I've been following him, listening to him, and watching him. And just recently, he quit. He said that this is not my niche now. My niche is actually carpentry, and he quit that niche and moved on to his actual loved one that he likes. So if you make a mistake of finding that niche and it's not for you, it's not the end of the world. You just keep moving forward. Like what I said, it's not how many times you failed. It's how many times you get up and do this all over again. I failed a lot of times, and I tried to do other niches before this. I went to did the outpatient gig one time. I mean, it's not my thing, manual therapy. I mean, no, I can't do it. And I tried it, even acute hospital. I did that for I think 2 years, being the director of an acute hospital. And I was wanting to incorporate my skills as a cardiac rehab therapist, and it just won't work. So not until I realized that dementia is actually my specific niche. So like what I said, keep moving, just find it, do it. And then if it doesn't work, try it again. And then if it doesn't work, try it again. And if it doesn't work, find another one. So, all right. Again, the next is, who is your audience, or what is that niche? So earlier you've defined who you are. So who I am, who you are, this one side. And then now you're defining who your audience is. In my case, it's the caregivers, dementia caregivers, so dementia patient or dementia caregivers. So you got the both sides. So who you are and who the audience is. So now we'll talk about who your audience is. So now, who would you be influenced by? What you know, what you do, and who you are. So this is defining your audience. Okay, so what problems and pain points are they facing? In my case, for dementia patients, they're having a hard time taking their patient going to the bathroom. And they always ask me that, how do I take my patient to the bathroom? Et cetera, et cetera. How do I stop them and tell them not to drive? And speaking of that, I have this one lady, she has a great idea about writing a book on guiding patients on dementia and driving. And that's a good niche. Just imagine the dementia realm itself. She's creating another niche under it. And that's so good. I mean, I can't do everything on my own. And if you do a sub niche on it, it could be a good partnership for you and me or whatever. Another thing that that you need to find is the pain points. What are the pain points? What are pain points are your clients facing? What are their main goals? I'm asking this, is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it realistic or time bound? Why am I telling you this? Because we're so used to doing this, the SMART goals, SMART goals. You remember that? You know, when you address your audience, you got to make sure it's a specific goal. Just like in my case, they want to know, hey, is my patient going to get better with dementia? Obviously, I would tell them, hey, there's no cure for dementia. It's just going to get worse. So I give them a specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic goal for them. Okay. All right. What's going on? There you go. So like what I said, you have to identify your specific audience, your specific audience. So basically you're creating a customer avatar. So first you got to identify what their goals are, your client's goal, or your patients, or not patients, your client's goal. You also have to identify their values. What are their values? I mean, do they use this? Do they use that? Next, what are their challenges? In my case, their challenges mainly because they have a hard time taking the patients to the bathroom. They have a hard time changing their underwear, their briefs, or whatever. They have a hard time explaining to mom and dad, not to drive anymore, not to cook. And those questions, basically, if they have questions, just to tell the truth, it's very easy to answer. You can always Google it. Sometimes people and, clients in groups, they just want people to find the answer for them. And it's not because you're pretending you're an expert there or don't know the answer, but actually everything is in Google. In my case, if somebody asked me about, hey, how can I take my loved ones to the bathroom without getting agitated? I already have a blog about it, and I just copy and paste what I have on my blog or in my video, and then I just send them that. It's just called repurposing. All right. So what are the pain points? What are the pain? Where are they hurting? Just like when you're doing a therapy evaluation, you come in there and they're complaining of shoulder pain. All right. And then you come in and do gait training, and that's not how you treat, a good, that's not being a good therapist. If you come in and they're complaining of shoulder pain, address that shoulder pain. And, to tell the truth, I've seen this. I come in and do a reassessment on my patient. Just recently, I just did the reassessment on a patient and she was complaining of back pain. And she told me that my assistant has just been doing some exercises on her, knee and ankle or whatever. And I said, well, you never complain about your back? No, she just ignored it. So that's not how that's not a good customer service. You have to find the pain point and then address it and, magnify it. Hey, I've treated this pain point. Help me to help you. Okay. All right. So next, if you're trying to look for your audience or you find your audience, look for their books. So what books are they reading? Just in my case, I've researched all the dementia expert, and I, bought and read all their blogs and the website and everything. In my case, it's Tipa Snow. She's the best, I don't know if you've heard all her videos and everything, and she's just amazing when it comes to dementia and Alzheimer's. If you already have your specific audience, again, go read about different books, their magazines, their blogs, attend their conferences. So in my case, in dementia, I attend different conferences. This coming Feb 27, I'll be attending a conference, Alzheimer's conference in Jackson, Tennessee. Tipa Snow will be speaking, and every now and then I will attend different caregiver conferences, which is not directly related to my to physical therapy. I'm branching out because that's where all my audience are. Caregivers and other dementia and Alzheimer's group, and of course, again, connect with other gurus, other experts. Obviously in my case, it's Tipa Snow. If you found those gurus in that specific niche that you're going to, you don't have to copy them exactly, but try to mimic them. What are they talking about? Where are their resources? Go and attend their certification courses or whatever. Okay. All right. Let's go. There you go. Again, for your customer avatar, what are the objections to their sales? If you're trying to sell something, and the role in the process of the purchase of process. So again, you also have to know their age, their gender, gender, their gender, their marital status, the number and age of their children, and location. Why do you need that? Because you want that for Facebook ads. You want that for Facebook ads, because in my case, I specifically target female caregivers from 45 to 65 or 75 years old, married. And because those are my target audience for caregivers. So in my case, I don't really do the Facebook ads anymore, because we've got this really big Alzheimer's and dementia support group. It's like 28,000 members now. So that's basically my funnel there. But if you don't have that big of a group right now, you can still do this and then launch a Facebook ad. And this is very important for targeting your actual customer avatar, or who your audience is. Again, you know, what are their quotes, their occupation? Again, in my case, it's caregiver. What are their titles? Majority of the caregivers are actually, either housewives or, retirees and stuff like that. What are their annual income? Because Facebook will also ask this if you decide to do a Facebook ad. And what are their level of education? To tell the truth, this is very important, especially if you have a specific niche of people who are very good, or at least higher level of education, because you can get a higher price point of selling products for them. All right. So again, this actual customer avatar worksheet can be downloaded at the digitalmarketer.com. It's free. It's actually in their website. It's a good way for you to identify which and what is your specific audiences. Again, what is the need? So earlier we talked about who you are, and then after that we talked about your audience. Now you want to talk about what is the need. The need will be the in between the who you are and your actual audience. So the need is you. So the need is the services that you provide. So again, who you are, we already identified that, and who is your audience. And next, fill that need, that in between. So it's just like a bridge in between the two of you. So how do you provide that? So meet a need or niche fills the gap. So how do you provide that? How do you provide that gap? So first, get involved in communities or group that share your niche and ask questions. Keep asking. So last time I mentioned to you that that Alzheimer's and dementia support group, I didn't started that. I'm just a moderator there, and because I've been very active with that group, helping with solutions, giving suggestions, and asking people about that about dementia. What's going on? How can I help you? And the actual administrator, his name is Ryan. The one who owns this book, asked me, hey, do you want to hop on and be part of our group? So now I'm leading their weekly Thursday dementia training to bring out the best in them. He pays me, a certain amount depending on how many people who sign up in that group. So, get involved. It doesn't have to be a paid gig immediately. Just comment in their post. Be involved. Just say hi, hello, and say how can I help you, and putting some links, not actual selling links, but links that how you can help. And then get what your audience is concerned about. Get what your audience is concerned about, and offer solution based on your expertise. If you, in my case, it's dementia, so I've been seeing a lot of people tagging me, hey, Dr. Mike, how can we do this? How can we help this? And how can we do that? So, and then again, figure out the solutions to their problems. I know sometimes this is hard, but Google is always there. You can even Google and then how to do this, how to do that, and it will show you different blog posts, and you can get that blog post and share it to the actual group in Facebook group. And how can you help them and impact them? And that's the key there, keeping an open or serving heart, to help them bring out the best in them. And what can you help them or do for them and be for them or create for them? So that's where I came in. I decided to be a dementia practitioner because I've been seeing a lot of cases that they're having a hard time taking care of their loved ones. So I just decided that this is me, all right? And then like what I said, how do you feel that need or niche? By offering, again, books. It doesn't have to be a really thick book. I mean, look at this book by Ryan. Let me count how many pages this is. It's actually 23 pages. Imagine that, 23 pages. It's not even perfect. Look at this. I mean, it's not even cut properly. I have to. Let me cut it well. So it's not even, not even perfect, so if he can do it, you guys can do this too. If I can do it, you guys can definitely do it too. So like what I said, how do you feel that need or niche? Offer books. If you don't know how to do a self-publish, we'll do a self-publishing course here too. Offer a webinar. This is a webinar we're doing right now. It doesn't have to be fancy. There are a lot of fancy webinar app out there, but you can just go live in Facebook, and that's your webinar already. Excuse me. Offer ebooks. If you can't print it out, do an ebook. If you don't know how to save an ebook, I'll teach you. It's very easy. Type it up on the Word file and just click save and save as PDF. Once it's a PDF, it's already an ebook. So do a podcast. A podcast sounds fancy, but it's not that hard. I have an app in my phone called Spreaker. All you have to do is to download that app, and once you hit record, you can record yourself, even put your actual phone like this, and you're recording your podcast already. Or if you want to be fancy, you can just plug in your headset and your microphone and doing that. It doesn't have to be complicated. For editing, you can hire a VA like my VA, but it's not really hard, because the actual app of Spreaker, it's Spreaker, Spreaker. It's like speaker with the R. So Spreaker app. Download that. It has the introduction music. If you want to click intro music, there's an intro there, and just start talking about your specific niche. In my case, it's dementia. Offer videos. So in my case, I'm doing all this video stuff and everything. I think I got a chat. So there you go. She put down there Spreaker. And then offer videos like what I do almost. I'm supposed to do it every day. That's what their recommendation is, but I'm not doing it every day anymore for my daily dementia dose. But if you can do it every day, giving value, adding value to your group, that's so good. And a checklist. You can give a checklist. If you don't have a checklist, you can make one. Just accept, in our case, 10 ways how to help your dementia patient go to the bathroom easy. And then we found different products that we can put in that list, and then they can get that link through Amazon, and Amazon gives us a certain percentage when that patient buys it from our link. So it's very simple. 10 bathroom aids that will help you improve how to take care of dementia patient, something like that. So we can do that checklist too. All right, so next is obviously you always have to make call to action on your audience. Make them take action. Just like our patients. If you're a therapist right now, your patient just loves you because they're taking action. They're exercising. And I don't do a lot of treatments. I only do evaluations and reassessment and discharges. But every time I come in and do a regular treatment or an exercise program with them, they love it because I'm making them take action. I'm asking them to push more, and punch more. I'm asking them to give all what they've got, to punch my hand or whatever, kick my hand or whatever, because I'm making them take action. And same thing with you. If you are wanting to serve an audience, ask them to take action. So here are some of the words or the phrases or words that you can use when you want to elicit a response for your clients. Ask them, hey, visit the website. I always see this, it sounds cheesy, but right now I'm using it already. I always tell them, visit our website, or buy this book, or share, like, and follow, read this blog, take a step to buy this course, post this and share it or whatever. Listen to this podcast, join our group, register in our webinar, watch or download our show or whatever. So make them take action, just like, us being a therapist, if you ask that patient to take action, they feel better, they do better, and they love you more. And that's what we're doing. You're meeting a need and asking them to take action. All right. So next is a tutorial. Give them some tutorials. How to blank and blank. All right. How to blank and blank. How to help your dementia patients in this and that. So do also a list. 3 ways to help your dementia patients. So in other cases, 3 ways to deal with a crazy baby or something like that. Next is a study, a case study, how I lose weight in 5 weeks. I wish I can do that, something like that. I'm running out of phrases to think in this area here. So here in the how to blank in blank, so if you're doing a how to, look at the steps, okay? Look at the steps. Next, if you're doing a list, if you're doing a ways to, you look at the methods and the strategies, okay? Next, if you're doing an example to or example case study, show documentation from the case study for the process. So how I lost weight in 5 weeks or 1 month or whatever. So you show that, the different documentation or the process on that. Okay, so again, meet a need or meet a niche is actually a skeletal system that provides the foundation. So in my case, I have that ebook of Misunderstanding Dementia book, and that's the meet a need. And then for the E, for the next course, or yeah, there you go, for the E, for the mentor thing, that's where the meat comes in. You give in all those other and valuable information. So in my case, I got the M for my book or my ebook. And then the E is actually my online course called Misunderstanding Dementia. That's the E component. Okay. So again, just to recap, we have the, from the free, we're offering free to a more dollar value towards the end of your services. So again, today we did the M, meet a need. Next week, we will do the educate and add value, and so on and so forth. Again, if you're interested to join again this group, we will, again, after the 6-week course, I will offer this how to be a dementia expert. It will be just an additional value. Basically, we'll teach you how to create your own website, do the store and credit payment system. I'll teach you how to do a business card, how to start your ebook, etc., and stuff like that. Let me check. There you go. And then we'll also teach you how to create a Facebook page. It's very easy. If I can do it, you guys can do it too. We'll teach you how to create your own podcast, to do a meet and to do the letter M, and how to do a YouTube video. It's very easy. Again, how to do a telehealth consulting. That's part of the 1-to-1 or letter O in our coaching. And how to find your speaking engagement. I'll teach you how to find speaking engagement. Some will be paid, some are not. I choose to do the paid services. In that way, I don't waste my time really. But a lot of conferences will be free. But the good thing about speaking in a conference is that you get to show yourself, show your expertise, and that will be your network, letter N, the letter N on our MENTOR. And from the N, you get to speak to other network, other people, and then you can offer your product. So in my case, I go to different caregiver conferences and I offer my free Alzheimer's and dementia education for, 30-minute, I'm losing English. I'm losing out on my English. 30-minute keynote. And then from there, I offer them the Alzheimer's Disease and Dementia Care Seminar, which is a 1-day course, wherein they pay me there. So that's, I'll help you find the speaking engagement. I'll also help you find the products to sell on your website, or through Amazon affiliate links. So you don't have to keep a inventory of your products. My wife still has her products downstairs in our garage. She keeps an inventory of her products. In my case, we sell stuff in Amazon, and I don't even keep a inventory. And of course, you can do private labeling too. Private labeling. There are a lot of options you can do for private labeling. So, in some of the magazines that we get from businesses, there are a lot of private labeling stuff here. So imagine here, no, not this one. This one here, a lot of, CBD stuff. This is one of the more, what do you call this? In demand now, the CBD. You can do a private label for your CBD or for your own products. There are a lot of private labeling. It's called the merchandising magazine. There are a lot of companies here, or you can just Google it, Google private label products. You can private label stuff, private label your own lotion, private label your own shirts, private label your brand or your own product. So you can do that. Even actually books. You can do private label on your books. And then I will help you create, where's my mouse there? Help you do Facebook live video. You got to do this. This is the trend now, not recorded video. People want live videos now. They want to see you in action. They want to see you make a mistake and be okay with it, because nobody's perfect. I'll help you create your own support group or joining other support group, and that way you can bring out the best in them. Again, finding your specific niche and how to hire a virtual assistant. So, and of course, how to create your own course and sell it. And that's one of a lot of people who wants to do now, because when you're selling a course online, you do one time recording and then you just start selling that course. All right. So again, this is, we will have the 6 live webinar training we've done. This is the first of the 6 webinar. We already did the M. If you want to join, we have this private mentoring community. Ask me questions in that group. I'll help you. Opportunity for partnership and affiliate links. If you join this group, I'll give you an affiliate link. Every time somebody joins in, you get a certain percentage if you refer that person. Nothing fancy, just imagine this is just like, not even $100 product, but it's still an extra help. If you let somebody come in, or if you sign up today and you help somebody come in, you get half of it or whatever. It's just a win-win situation for everyone. I'm doing this to educate people, not to get rich. We want to get rich, but this is, a way for me to help other people bring out the best in them. And again, like I said, an opportunity for partnership. I've been meaning to spread the misunderstanding series, because what I have right now is the misunderstanding dementia. My goal is to spread the misunderstanding series to different topics, like, misunderstanding stroke. If you're an occupational therapist who likes treating stroke, or if you happen to be a physical therapist, your specialty is stroke, I want to start that, misunderstanding stroke, or misunderstanding heart disease, or misunderstanding shoulder issues. And I want that different series, and I want to make that big, so that's my thing there for opportunity for partnership. And again, you'll have if you join our MMT group, you'll have the dementia expert course and how to find your dream job ebook. And again, this is, all this information here, I paid more, let's just say, I don't want my wife to know, more than almost 10K on all this things I'm learning and sharing to you right now. So again, for the people who will join, I think I already sent one book to Jennifer. So if you want to join, the charter price is actually $197, but if you put in the code MMT 100, you get the price down to $97, and the first 20 members will get either of the following book. So, I sent one book already to Jennifer. I still have a lot. I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more of the 48 days. The Rudder of the Day, I think I have a lot of that, and even the 48 days to the Working Love application guide, I still have that. And also, we will give out 7 personality profile. This is really good because this is a product I got from Dan Miller. I don't know if you know the disc profile. It's a good a personality test that you can do and check. And this is paid, actually. It's a paid personality profile to know what's your strength, what's your specific niche, what the specific what do you call this, strength that you can have, and go from there. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Again, to join, come and join us, drmikechua.com/MMT. And I think that's the last slide. Again, thank you very much. If you've got any questions or any violent reaction, put it on the chat or put it on our Facebook live feed. Again, I wish you all the best. I'll see you Monday next week. God bless you. And let's do this. MENTOR. Again, thank you. God bless you and have a great night. Bye-bye.
Join us on the Mastermind and Mentoring for Therapists. Go to drmikechua.com/MMT. Use the coupon code MMT100 for a $100 discount. See you there.